Good morning, everybody. This is Eureka John at Eureka Street Crypto Hub, broadcasting live on Theta TV from Leander, Texas. And it is July 8th, 2021 at 6:14 in the morning. Oh man, I feel like a squash bug today. I've been staying up till almost midnight for the past 3 nights. It's starting to catch up to me. Yeah, it's crazy. Staying up till midnight gets me this tired because I remember a day when I wouldn't even leave the house to go out for the night till about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So anyway, today's my parents' anniversary, and they are 54 years married. That's a long time. So congrats to them. That's really a huge accomplishment actually nowadays. So wow. I mean, even before nowadays. So all right. So let's get to this is my video blog. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your teacher. Just a dude with a camera and a microphone talking about crypto and everything I'm learning. And I've been doing this since October 24th, 2020. And every single morning since February 6th, 2021. I have not skipped a beat. And I'm going to keep on doing this until I just get bored with it, I guess. But I'm not bored now. The crypto market's definitely not boring at all. Every single day there's something to talk about, and every single day I learn some new concept or some little bit of history or something, and I just gotta share it with you guys. And this is a great way to discipline myself to do that. I need to have something to talk about every single morning. So yeah, and the morning also is kind of my little time before work and before kids and family and everything else, to have a little time to myself and to just sit and think and ponder on stuff. So this doesn't feel like work at all. This is my time, and you are witnessing voyeuristically or whatever my time in the morning. And yes, so I'm not shilling anything, and I'm not making any money from this, and I don't intend to. I'll make money some other ways. I'm happy to join into whatever projects you're doing, maybe create some graphics and animation or do some teaching videos or whatever, man. I'm open. I want to work in the blockchain world full time in the end of it all and not have to commute an hour down to my job. But that's a slow transition, and I'm building up and learning and taking my time as I go. I do like the security of my full-time job, I must say. So, and contributing to the GDP. Yep. Okay, let's go to CoinGecko and see what is going on here. Yeah, I'm a wage slave, and I'm all right with that. So yeah, if that makes my family happy and my wife happy and my kids happy and stable, then I'm totally down with that. Let's see here. All right, so we're at, whoa, there's a lot of red going on here. Yeah, we moved this chat bot somewhere else. I'm not really sure where to put it. I guess this is where I put it yesterday, and I had some people sneak on in the middle of the night. This guy Reches. I don't know. I don't know if we'll see any activity on that today or not. Some days it's like lit up, and then other days it's just like crickets. So whatever. Yeah. Okay, so man, we got a lot of red on here today. Bitcoin is at 32,477.21. Ethereum's at 2138.57. Tether 99 cents, yay. Binance Coin 313.45. Cardano down $1.35, down 5.6%. See, Ethereum's down 10.6%, man. Oh wow. And XRP down to 61 cents. Doge down to 21 cents, man. Doge is just kind of like yesterday's news, huh? Okay, everybody thought that, yeah. Hey man, say man, you're into crypto, right? Yeah. Hey, tell me about this Dogecoin. Oh, yeah, man, is it a good investment? No. What about Shiba Inu? No. Okay. You hear a lot of that. Trust me. USDC dollars, because it's a stable coin. Polkadot 1533, down 9.1%. Binance 99 cents. Okay, so Binance is back up. So we do have 3 stable coins in the top 10 again. Uniswap down to 2016, took a big hit at 13%. Solana down 6.6% to 34.39. Chainlink down 11.7% to 1853. I know all my Chainlink Marine hopefuls on Theta Network were, yeah, they're all crying, sky's falling. I don't know how many times I've seen the sky fall on Twitter. So whatever. I'm in this for the long run. I think crypto as a whole is going to move forward. So that's why I do this. I'm not really worried about all the daily news. I know all the regulatory agencies and the BIS, which is the CBD over the CBD, the central bank over the central banks. They're talking about all this programmable money, and they're just blatant about it. How they're just basically going to program the money and give it to you, and they're going to control every aspect, and there should not be any money out there that cannot be controlled and programmed on top of. So cash is trash to them. They do not want you owning cash, period. They need to track every single thing you do. I do have a quick little clip I wanted to show you of that dude saying that. I'm not even going to comment on his physical appearance because a lot of other people do it for me. And I was taught by my wife that you should not comment on people's physical appearances, so I won't do that. Even though I kind of inadvertently did by talking about it. But let's see here. As long as I can get my computer to respond, and okay, come on, tweeter, and I will always love you. Okay, okay. After my little Whitney break, let's see here. Oh. Yep, oh, what's going on here in the side column? It's not popping up for you guys. I can. Well, shoot. Okay, all right. So my bookmarks are slowly beginning to populate the page. Okay, all right. There's this dude right here. Okay. And let's see what he has to say.
All our analysis on CBDC, in particular for the use of general use, we tend to establish the equivalence with cash. And there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is. Our analysis on CBDC.
All right, so basically, you heard it from the horse's mouth. They do not want cash. They want to bring in a CBDC. They want to control it. They want to program it. They want to control how much, when, how fast, where, why you spend your money. And they do not want cash. And this is the head of the BIS, the Bank for International Settlements. And if you don't know what the BIS is, it is the bank that is in charge of banks. It's the bank that tells the banks what to do. And it's part of it's a higher up big boss on the pyramid. And if you've ever seen, was it Fantastic Four, that big boss there? Yeah, it's this dude, and he's the evil guy in control. And he's basically saying, you're not going to have cash. We have the technology to control, and that's what we're going to do. And yeah, so good thing that we are developing privacy coins, and cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is evolving through things like Taproot and stuff like that. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Uzika Bongha? How you doing? Welcome to the show. All right, so let me go over here to something else I wanted to talk about. Ethereum has been kind of all over the place, and I just wanted to kind of demonstrate the different sides that kind of pop out in the news. So there's a lot of bridges happening with Ethereum because interoperability is the key word in 2021, and it's been scalability, security, and interoperability are three concepts. I don't follow this dude, Croissant ETH. He always puts out really good, or she puts out really good threads. And so 24 reasons why ETH is extremely undervalued. Why is this not showing up for you? Okay, here we go. All right. A thread by Croissant. And let's see here. If I can get the page to load. Man, having some sluggy internet issues today. Okay, so why? So you'll see something. You'll see some threads on the very same day that are absolutely bullish, and then some threads on the same day that are absolutely bearish. And let's look at some of the reasons why we should be bullish on ETH first. Smart contracts. A smart contract automatically executes codes once specific terms are met. It's the first form of programmable money to exist, and users can rely on it to create decentralized money Legos free of censorship, lend, borrow, and swap, and do much more with them. However, it doesn't say that smart contracts are also on top of that CBDC that the big boss man of the Fantastic Four was talking about, because smart contracts can also be written on the CBDCs, so everything can be used for good and for evil, and for control or for liberation. Just think about that. Stable coins. ETH is the home to many stable coins which have grown tremendous use cases. USDT, USDC, DAI, TUSD. They are very popular for use in DeFi, and Visa will soon accept transaction settlement in USDC. USDC has grown from a $4 billion market cap to $25 billion this year. And as you noticed on CoinGecko, USDC was right up there in like number 7 or something like that in market cap. So it's huge. I used to think that USDC was actually the digital dollar. Just to clarify, it is not. It is a stable coin built by Circle Payment Systems. And yeah, so it's not the USDC digital dollar yet. Stablecoins are global and can be sent over the internet. They're easy to receive or send once you have an Ethereum account. Demand for stablecoins is high, so you can earn interest for lending yours. So that is another way to enter the crypto world, is by investing in stablecoins. And the banks have atrocious interest rates right now. It's like 0.1 if you're lucky. So people are transferring all their dollars into stablecoins, so they're not subjecting themselves to the volatility of things like Bitcoin and Ethereum and these other altcoins. They're remaining pegged to the dollar, so they're keeping the value of the dollar, but they're getting those interest rates of 5, 10, 8%, 12%. APY in a lot of these places, and you can find various DeFi protocols and CeFi, centralized finance protocols like Celsius and BlockFi, that will offer some really good interest rates on stablecoins. So that is a way people are getting around the banking system and being able to invest in dollars and then get really good interest rate on dollars in a way that they can't with the traditional bank accounts. In Ethereum, most of those stablecoins are built on Ethereum right now. DeFi has exploded because of its attractive yield and flexibility and non-custodial nature. With DeFi, we can become our own banks by cutting out the middlemen, and it's restructuring the industry of finance as we know it today, and it's not stopping. Yes, DeFi, most of it is built on Ethereum, and at this point, that's changing slowly. Some DeFi platforms are beginning to be built on other blockchains, but we still see Ethereum as the major dominant factor in that. And with interoperability, I think we'll start to see more of that. Zilliqa has the ZIL ETH bridge. Cardano built a bridge with the AGI Singularity Net token. People are wrapping Bitcoin, and that's a bridge. Things with like Ren BTC and stuff like that. See, for instance, Croissant makes a little note here about the bank interest rate. Tried to set up a new bank account this week. They offered 0.01% interest, and I have to wait a week before I can even use it. Combine that with spending limits and multi-day transfers, 15% ATM charge for cash, and limited hours. Yeah, centralized banks are just like they're getting blockbustered, man. A total of 94 out of the top 100 crypto projects are built on Ethereum, with more than 3,000 dApps, 200,000 ERC20 tokens. Albeit mainly only a handful of those are really awesome, amazing, valued tokens, but there's 200,000 of different ones. I do have my own token. It's not an ERC20 token. It's on the Theta platform, the EKA token. I was just messing around with a mentor and created my own. Who knows? Maybe I'll use it one day. Anyway, these protocols are often have many further use cases involving ETH, creating the fundamentals for Web 3.0 economy. And Web 3.0, I was trying to explain to somebody, is the built-in wallet feature now that will connect to the blockchain on a website instead of connecting to a centralized server. So you have Web 1.0, which is the static pages. This is my storefront. This is some pictures of what I do, a little blurb saying what I do and stuff like that. And then Web 2.0, which is MySpace, Facebook, eBay, allows you to create content from the user side and put it on the website, and it interacts with a dynamic database, and it interacts dynamically to build websites on the fly with your inputted information, so you have an interaction with the database and the centralized server. Then Web 3.0 here will be on the blockchain, and you'll interact with the blockchain, and you'll have your wallet in the browser, and you'll be able to do transactions and things like that. So developers, and it'll be decentralized, hopefully. Developers, one thing that has shocked many is the attention ETH has gotten from developers. So most of the developers are on Ethereum right now. We do have some growing development in other blockchains, like Cosmos and Polkadot and Zilliqa and stuff like that. But still, most of the developers are on Ethereum. So here's a little graph saying where all the developer activity is right now, and if I can just get it pulled up. Let's see. All right. Since Q3 2019, Ethereum has gained more than 300 developers every month, growing at a pace faster than even Bitcoin. Look at that. That's the amount of developers. And so look, you have Polkadot, Cosmos, Tezos, Bitcoin down here, Blockstack and Monero. So definitely most of the developers are learning Solidity and developing on Ethereum, or developing in some way, shape, or form with Ethereum. Oh my gosh, now it's telling me it's page unresponsive. All right, so okay, not a whole lot I can do with the page being unresponsive at this point. Let's see here. Let me just try to close this again. Oh, my phone is telling me I'm driving too. What is going on here? Oh man. Okay. So insurance off-chain. Oh my gosh. What is happening? Okay, let me just... So anyway, I will pull this up on my phone, because my phone is, now that I'm not driving, apparently. Okay, so let me go back over to bookmarks. And go back to Croissants. Okay, so we'll just leave that cat on the page now, but I will talk about some things here that I have this pulled up on my phone. So insurance, off-chain oracles, and ETH offer an elegant solution to the trillion-dollar insurance world. This process is fair and efficient, as many don't even have the option to get insurance today. There's automated smart contracts, and the Chainlink oracles allow people to allow things like weather data to be gathered, and so insurance payouts can happen instantaneously and without insurance adjusters and everything like that to have to come in and spend a long time deciding whether or not you deserve the money. So a pilot program is now providing crop insurance to over 10,000 farmers in Kenya, powered by Ethereum and Chainlink. And Chainlink is the oracle that gathers all that off-chain data and brings it on-chain. Okay, interoperability, which is a huge focus. This is one of the subjects I feel many people underestimate the implications of. Ethereum will unlock potentially hundreds of billions of dollars in liquidity from proof-of-stake blockchains through interchain accounts and interoperable liquid staking derivatives. So right here we have Cardano, Solana. All these things are being bridged to Ethereum. I mentioned Cosmos, Polkadot, Algorand. That's a blockchain I don't really talk about much, but I need to talk about that more. So, and then derivatives as well. And derivatives are basically synthetic assets. It is an asset that represents and tracks the price of another asset. Say, for instance, you'll have a derivative of gold. It is a marker, and it's a tokenized version of that gold that you can invest in that tracks the price of it. And derivatives initially caused that major 2008 crash when people were trading back and forth house notes and mortgage notes and derivatives of that, and notes that tracked the price of those notes and stuff like that. So it's an interesting market, but it's now available on the blockchain, and it has been for a while through stuff like synthetics and other different protocols as well. So a lot of that is becoming available, or has been being available on Ethereum, and a lot of it is becoming interoperable with other blockchains that offer derivatives and other types of protocols like that, and then all being cross-bridged back and forth to each other opens up a huge new market. NFTs, if you're living under a rock if you haven't heard about NFTs this year. And NFTs are more than just sports cards and creating a cryptographic hash on transactions. NFTs can also represent things like real estate. They're unique hashes and pieces of code that get attached to certain documents, and this can apply to things like tokenized real estate and property. It can apply to bundles of tokens and portfolios. So you could tokenize an entire portfolio and pass an entire portfolio to somebody and put that portfolio up for sale. Say, for instance, I wanted to tokenize my portfolio right now. I would have some Theta, some Chainlink, some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, some Cosmos, and then put all those in one bag and call it my Eureka bag NFT, and then I could sell that to somebody, and there's just so many different things you can do with NFTs besides just the celebrities creating little gifs of themselves and then selling them, or people like Bleeple selling that NFT of an aggregation of all his art for 13 years every single day for $69 million. So, I mean, he worked for $69 million creating art once a day, and then put them all in one little NFT, and then sold it for $69 million. So, yeah. And then there's the metaverse, which is all these virtual reality programs like Decentraland, Somnium Space, CryptoVoxels, just to name 3 here. And people are buying and selling real estate, which goes into the next one, digital land, and they're buying and selling it for huge amounts of money right now, and people are paying a lot of money, like into the hundreds of thousands, for pieces of property, prime pieces of property. People will be selling real estate, everything. There 2 economies are happening, and it's the real world and the metaverse. And the metaverse is anything that is happening in this digital world right here, Decentraland, and people are buying and selling this property here. And Decentraland is open and public for anybody that has an internet connection to access. And so anybody can log into the metaverse. You can just log it, so and the whole economies are being built. You could buy advertising, you can put your artwork in there, whatever you want to do. DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. I'm a member of one, the Bankless DAO, and most organizations are top down. DAOs are decentralized, and everybody who are token holders can participate and vote in the DAO and create and propose proposals to improve the current system, and everybody votes on them. And it's I did a show a couple days ago on the Green Bay Packers, and most DAOs right now are with Ethereum-based platforms right now. So it's another huge thing. And I talked about synthetics briefly already with derivatives. So there's synthetic tokens. Lending and borrowing protocols, that also goes into DeFi as well. triple halving. This concept describes how ETH will undergo a supply shock equivalent to Bitcoin halving events in the next 12 months alone with a transition to proof of stake. So it'll be proof of stake, EIP 1559, which will be burning a lot of Ethereum to bring down the gas prices. And what is the third one? Proof of stake. Man, I don't even know what the third one is. And then there's a supply drop. Okay, so using Justin Drake's assumptions, current daily sell pressure is 22.3k ETH per day. Per my calculations, using the same assumptions, sell pressure after EIP 1559, this is an improvement protocol like people voted for in DAOs, but before proof of stake will reduce to 15.70, sell pressure after EIP 1559 and proof of stake will then drop further to 2.6k ETH per day. This drop from 22.3k to 2.6k is where the approximate 90% reduction in supply comes from that I used to calculate the triple halving. So let's see. So current daily sell pressure is at 22.3. So there's the sell pressure after EIP, but before proof of stake, reduced to... Okay, so there's EIP 1559, and that happens before proof of stake, and that will reduce the supply. And then the sell pressure after EIP 1559 and proof of stake will then drop further to 2.6k, and that will drop from 22.3 to 2.6k, where it's approximately 90% reduction. And I don't understand where the triple is. This drop in sell pressure purely from EIP 1559 is still significant, however, and represents a 30% reduction, or about half of the effect of a single Bitcoin halving. This is important because I view the staggering of these catalysts as another important difference as the market adjusts to the supply dislocation from a July EIP 1559 upgrade. 3 to 4 months later, it is hit again with an even bigger dislocation from the merge to proof of stake. My belief is price volatility will be unprecedented after this. I mean, I do agree that EIP 1559 and the full move to proof of stake, I think it's going to take probably about a year's time, but will create at least a double halving. I'm still unclear about where the triple halving is, but I'll have to... This is 79 pages long, so I'm going to have to read Squish's report here, and I'm going to bookmark this tweet right here and go a little further in detail on another show about what the triple halving is all about. Well, shoot. I wanted to go into a lot more of the interoperability stuff today, but I'm having to spend so much time getting my computer to cooperate with me. So this has been not the easiest. Let me see here. Okay, so let me bookmark this. Okay. Share, add tweet to bookmarks. Okay, I'm going to study that in more in depth, and I'm going to follow Squish Chaos here. Okay. It's like when your computer's dragging ass. Okay, and then the EIP 1559. Proof of stake is another bullish factor. Layer 2 solutions, since we had all the gas issues and the clogging up of traffic on the network and the slow speeds, the slow TPS, transactions per second, Layer 2 solutions bring in roll-ups and sharding and plasma and all that stuff, and they're increasing the transactions per second dramatically. So in the future, Layer 1 will pretty much just be a settlement layer that all the big dogs and the whales and the institutions will use, and then people like me and you, the general populace, will use Layer 2 solutions, and we won't even really know we're using Layer 2 solutions. People would, they'll just be dApps and stuff like that just integrate Layer 2 automatically, while they'll settle under the hood in the background things on the Layer 1 Ethereum. So people say, well, Layer 2 is going to make, Layer 1 irrelevant and all that stuff. And or Ethereum 2.0 will make Layer 2 solutions irrelevant. We won't need Matic anymore or Loopring or anything like that. No, we're actually going to continue using Layer 1 afterwards. We'll just use it in the background and under the hood. So platform agnostic, and we'll continue. We'll continue using layer 2 solutions. We're going to let layer 1 work under the hood while we interact on a day-to-day basis with layer 2, and then layer 1 will just be the settlement layer. Think about it this way. Think about if you work at a restaurant and you have all these transactions being done at your business every single day, and then at the end of the day, whoever closes the restaurant rings up everything in the till and then takes all the transactions and the money that was made in that little zip pouch. They take it to the bank and they deposit every day. That is the settlement at the end of the day of everything that happened on layer 2, which was the transactions that your waiters, your servers had with the customers. That's the layer 2. And then layer 1 is at the end of the day, whenever the restaurant manager takes all the money to the bank and settles it out and closes it out for the day. So that's what's pretty much going to happen. Platform agnostic, unique features of NFT and more on ETH as they work in a platform agnostic manner, so they can be built on anything. And then creator economy, tokenizing intellectual property and content, especially in the open source world, can be a way to monetize and show support for various people. It gives a new level of power to creators and may push the open source industry to an entire creator economy. Tokenized everything. I believe stocks are going to be tokenized. There's a lot of corporations, instead of shareholders, you'll be stakeholders, and you'll a lot of these companies will basically be transitioning over to DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, and those DAOs require tokens, governance tokens and stuff like that in order to be able to vote, and then you need to secure the network. So you'll be a stakeholder and you'll be earning interest on that. Instead of holding shares like you would in a stock. So that's kind of the natural progression of things moving into the crypto world. What's up, Hush Hush? How you doing? Welcome to the show. And then universal market access. Having universal access to any market is a concept not many seem to believe is possible today. It opens a world for individuals across the globe who can no longer be censored or unable to get financial services today on the ETH blockchain. So yeah, and Cardano makes a huge big mission to take cryptocurrency and stuff like that to Africa. I mean, right now, a lot of the rest of the world is ahead of the third world, or whatever people, I think third world is kind of a derogatory term, but the undeveloped world is ahead of the developed world in a lot of ways, because we have all this infrastructure with these cables and these towers and these lines and everything built up for what's becoming now old world technology, while they just have their smartphones. And they're just transacting back and forth on decentralized networks, Bitcoin and stable coins and stuff like that. And they're well ahead of the game, ahead of us. And we have all, like I said, all these cables running everywhere and all these telephone poles, and they don't even have that in a lot of places. And they're just using their cell phones and doing peer-to-peer transactions while we're still fiddling around with these banks overcharging us and approving or denying or locking us out of our accounts for fraud and whatnot. Adoption. Contrary to the last run of crypto in 2017, we didn't have real-world use that blockchain is now seeing today. IoT, decentralized Internet of Things, is IoT. It's little sensors that will track your everyday motions, and that's amazing and dystopian and scary at the same time. Decentralized IDs. It's IDs that don't really necessarily bring out the details of your personal details of your identification, but they allow you to interact. Say, for instance, you have an ID and the bartender just needs to see that you're over 21. They don't need to see how old you are, just that you're over 21. They don't need to see where you live or anything like that. They just need to see you're over 21. That's part of the concept that DIDs can produce. And then distributive ledger technologies will be massive, and all that interacts with each other. Visa, PayPal, and Amazon are just the few high value examples of some top companies taking interest in Ethereum technology. And then gaming. Think about if you earn gold in one game, you can transfer that gold from one game to another. If you're playing Conflict Nations on one platform and you have gold there, you can take it over to World of Warcraft and use that same gold somewhere else. That's kind of a whole idea of NFTs. Or if you have a character skin that you really like, you can transfer that character skin from one game to another. I'm not a gamer, so I'm not really, don't know all the details and all that, but yeah, it's I know it's a huge thing right now, and I know Ethereum is slow right now for that, and there are other developments in blockchains. I know the Arc blockchain is really trying to focus on being like a gaming type of blockchain, but with Ethereum 2.0, this will be definitely more viable. So in combination with other blockchains like Cosmos and Arc and stuff like that. Like I said, Ethereum is more of a settlement layer, while they will have these side chains and these parachains and these roll-ups and stuff like that, and these shards taking care of all the transactions that are moving at the speed of life. And then ETH 2.0 is the next bullish development. And then ETH as the supercomputer. Vitalik took ideas from Bitcoin and added a programmable base layer for devs to build on top of. Anyway, I didn't get to the bullish points of Ethereum today because I was fiddling with internet connection issues. But this is a great thread by Croissant. I'll link it in there. Read it for yourself. There's a lot of good information in there. I guess tomorrow I'll talk more about the interoperability and the bridges that I wanted to talk about today, because I'm out of time. I'm already over time. So dang, man, yeah. So it just so happens, not every day is a fully successful broadcast, but hey, it's good enough, I guess. But thanks for jumping on, Hush Hush and Uzika Bonghe. I appreciate it. And all my shows are up on YouTube, BitChute, and Odyssey. Give a thumbs up and all that crap. Yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow, man. I'm here every day around the same time. I don't really have a specific time, but it's just what I do, man. Every single morning. I don't stop. I ain't gonna stop. So, all right. And hit me up on Twitter. It's Eureka John, the number 1 at Eureka John, the number 1, or just DM me on you, or hit me up on you, whatever. Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm going to work.